Ben Lipton, age 42, assistant warehouse manager of the Acme Cardboard Container Company, has decided to build a retreat for himself in his backyard.
It's so ugly.
I have to get away now and then.
Well, you have your own room.
Martha, that's still part of the house. There are too many telephone calls. I can hear everything that goes on in there. The kids, deliveries, you.
No, we'll be quieter,
How
I
can
promise.
you be quieter? You have to live. You have to talk on the phone.
But it takes up the whole backyard.
Well, sure, it takes up the whole backyard. It's a 26B.
Well, we could add on a room. We've always wanted another room.
With what? We're just making it now.
But it's a box. A cardboard box.
Well, I work for a company that makes cardboard boxes.
But we are ordinary people. We live in an ordinary house on an ordinary block with lots of other ordinary houses with all kinds of ordinary people in them. What are they all going to say?
Well, I'll give you an ordinary answer. Martha, I don't care.
Ben, I've never expected very much of you. And you've never expected very much of me.
Well, that's fortunate, Martha, because we've never given each other very much.
Well, we've done for each other what's expected two people should do for each other. I mean, you've gone to work at the same job for the same salary for years and years. I've taken care of your house for you, and I've raised your children for you. Why do you want to change anything?
I don't know. In fact, I don't know if I do. All I know is I've just got to get away by myself for a while and think about it.
In a box?
In a box. Look, Martha, I got to go to work now. Pretend it isn't here.
Ben, pretend it isn't here? Well, it just takes up the whole backyard, and I should pretend it isn't here? It was a lovely funeral. I thought he spoke very well. Didn't you think he spoke very well, Ben?
Oh, very well. Yes, he spoke very well.
I suppose you'll be selling the house now, Mother.
Haven't thought about it.
You'll have to sell the house.
It's all paid for.
Well, but you can't live all alone. Out here in Cincinnati. She can't live out here in Cincinnati, can she, Ben?
She always has lived in Cincinnati.
But not alone.
Martha, they're not going to throw your mother out of Cincinnati just because your dad died.
But she doesn't have any family in Cincinnati.
No, but then she never did.
We never should have moved out of Cincinnati.
Martha, you always said you hated Cincinnati.
That was 20 years ago.
And that's when we moved. 20 years ago.
Oh.
Hey, Mother Crawford.
What?
Why don't you take a vacation?
Vacation.
Where would she go?
I don't know. What's the difference? She's never been anywhere. Why don't you take a friend of yours, and there must be some woman you're friendly with, and travel?
Women. I hate women.
Oh, come on now, Mother Crawford. There must be some woman you like. I bet.
Talk.
All Mother's friends are dead.
Friends. Some friends, they died.
What Mother needs is her family around her.
Sure, but she doesn't have any family in Cincinnati.
I'm all alone.
She's all alone.
Always been alone.
Always been alone.
Well, how about your dad? Didn't he keep her company?
He stayed by himself and I stayed by mine.
She can come visit us.
We don't have any room.
We have a guest room.
Oh, I don't remember that room.
It's where Daddy keeps all his books and his papers.
And his couch. He used to lie down there a lot.
I wouldn't want to impose.
Oh, Ben has a box in the backyard he lies down in now.
A box?
Yes, he sent a box up from the company. He's been spending all of his spare time there.
Well, I have to get away now and then. It's a nice box. Room in there for a cot and a chair and a lamp. I like it.
You just throw a few things in a bag, Mother. You'll be driving back with us tomorrow.
Come in.
You wanted to see me, Mr. Spiegle?
Oh, Lipton. Lipton, I want to talk to you.
Yes, sir. It's about that Toyville order. That's going to be a day late, sir. The factory didn't send us those...
Yes, I know you'll take care of it.
And Harrison reported sick today. The poor fella, he's got one of those sick...
Fine. Lipton, I want to talk to you.
I know. Mr. Spiegle, I've got my mother-in-law living with us at the house right now, so if I seem a little nervous to you, it's just...
Nervous? Oh, I hadn't noticed.
Well, that's good.
Oh, living at your house, huh?
Yes, sir. Moved right into my former den.
Oh, say, Ben, how's that box of yours doing?
My box? Oh.
Damn good idea. Oh. So, what did you do?
Well, I got myself one of those big 26Bs, had it shipped out to the house. Darn thing nearly takes up the whole backyard. Yeah.
Did you cut a door or something?
Yes, sir. That's what I did. I cut a door in it, put a bolt in there on the inside.
Oh, I gotta hand it to you, Lipton.
Thank you.
Ingenuity.
Thank you, sir. I just feel like I've got to get away from time to time.
Yeah. Oh, say, Ben, how long you been with us? Acme Cardboard Container.
Acme Cardboard. 19 years, 6 months, 2 weeks, and a day, in round figures.
Mm-hmm. Well, how about moving up?
Moving up?
That's right. Stanwell spot.
Stanwell? Oh, no, sir. He's a good man.
Oh, yes, he is. Yes, he is. And that's why he's moving up, out of the warehouse.
Out of the warehouse, Stanwell? Well, that's what he knows. The warehouse,
And I want you to take a whack at it.
Who, me? You want me to try to run that whole...
The whole shooting match. Of course, it'll be a few more hours every week, but it's $3,000 more, Ben.
Yes, sir, I know that, sir, but that'd mean I'd be in charge of 32 men.
Right.
With 32 problems.
Right.
32 human beings. I don't think I could...
Congratulations, Lipton. Now, why don't you call your wife, huh?
Mr.
Tell her the good news.
I'd like to be your man,
Go
but
on,
I don't
call
think
your
I'm the
wife.
man.
$3,000 more, Ben. Damn, a box in the backyard. It gets away in the box.
Martha, will you come out of there? You've been in front of that mirror for 20 minutes.
I'll be right out.
I want to talk to you.
Well, what do you think?
It's a wig.
Well, of course it's a wig. What do you think?
I think it's a wig. Why do you need a wig?
Well, I need a change of face.
Well, you're not wearing it on your face. You're wearing it on your head. You're changing your head.
Everybody's wearing wigs.
Where to?
Well, I can't see this builder looking like last Monday's wash.
Martha, we've been married for 21 years. I never once thought you looked like last Monday's wash.
But you're a very important man now, Ben. I mean, you're manager of a whole warehouse. This builder's coming to meet a very important man. Well, now, what's he going to think if he sees the wife of this very important man looking like a sack of potatoes?
I thought you looked like Monday's wash.
You're making real money now, Ben.
Well, I always made real money. I'm just making $3,000 more of it now, Martha. The way prices are today, you won't even notice the difference.
No, but I want to notice the difference, Ben. For once in my life, I want to be somebody.
You are somebody.
Who? Just who am I?
I think you're Martha.
I don't want to be a Chevrolet.
You're not a
Of
Chevrolet.
course, I'm not saying I want to be a Cadillac.
You're not a Cadillac.
I want to be a Pontiac. Or maybe even an Oldsmobile.
Martha, I don't want to be married to an automobile.
$3,000.
$3,000. Yeah, that's it, Martha. That's just exactly what I want to talk to you about, Martha. I don't want to be a warehouse manager.
I knew it. I knew it. You've been fired.
Oh, Martha, you're always leaping to
Well,
conclusions.
then what is it? Why don't you want to be a warehouse manager? I mean, what's wrong with being successful?
I don't know. I guess I was kind of happy doing what I was doing. I don't want or need that kind of responsibility.
You just don't want to meet this builder.
No, I don't.
You're just happy sitting out there in that box in the backyard, in a box. Do you have any idea what all the neighbors are saying?
I know that Michelson, 2 doors down, just ordered a 26B from Acme Cardboard Container.
We are building a bedroom for my mother, and that's that.
Well, build your mother a bedroom, but in Cincinnati. I want my old job back again.
Ben?
Huh?
We haven't fought for a long time now, have we?
No, not in several hours.
Matter of fact, I can't even remember the last time I was really mad.
Oh, I can. It was several hours ago.
But I am not an old lamp. I'm not ready to go out.
Martha, you're not last Monday's wash. You're not a sack of potatoes. You're not a Chevrolet, and you're not an old lamp. You are Mrs. Ben Lipton.
And what's that, Ben? Just what is that?
What, Martha? Who?
There is not room in this house for Steve and Ellen and you and me and my mother and the housekeeper.
What housekeeper?
That's another thing.
That certainly is another thing. What housekeeper?
I am tired of being a vacuum cleaner and a dust mop and a dish rack.
I know. You want to be an Oldsmobile. What housekeeper?
Mrs. Bondage.
Bondage.
She comes very highly recommended.
Who recommended her?
Mrs. Michelson. I'm
Michelson.
tired of 2 inches of dust everywhere. There, look at that. Look at that.
I kind of like a little dust around the house. And furthermore, Martha, I like the way you look in your little jeans and your little sneakers and your little hair done up in curlers and your little dust rag dusting the house.
She starts Monday.
Martha, we can't afford a maid.
Oh, no, they don't call them maids anymore, Ben. 20 years ago, they were maids. Today, they're housekeepers.
I know. 20 years ago, you were a girl. Today, you're a car.
Ben, where are you going?
I'm going to my box.
You are not going to that box. Now, what am I going to say to the builder?
Don't say anything. Just rev up your motor.
What?
Hi.
Oh, hey.
Did you hear a car horn, Daddy?
No, why?
I'm getting a lift.
Well, who's the lucky fella?
Fella? Me? Come on. Phyllis Honeywell's mother is driving, and they're picking me up.
Oh, that's nice.
Daddy? What's wrong with me?
Is there something wrong with you?
Why doesn't anybody ever ask me out?
Don't they?
Oh, Daddy, you know they don't. I haven't had a date in... Daddy, I've never had a date.
Oh, what do you mean? You never had a date?
Never. Nobody ever asked me out. Is it because I'm so dumb?
Who says you're dumb?
Oh, Daddy, come on. I fail everything.
Maybe you ought to study a little bit more.
It doesn't do any good. Nothing stays in my head.
Huh?
Were you any good at school?
I don't know. All right, I guess. I got out.
Oh, well, I'm no good at it. I think when I'm 18, I'm gonna quit.
Oh, no, you have to go on to college.
College? Oh, Daddy, are you kidding? What college would take me?
Well, we'll find a college.
Oh.
I've got just about all that money put away.
Yeah?
Hmm?
Oh, you shouldn't waste that money on me. I'm not pretty. I'm not smart. I just take up space. You ought to take that money out of the bank.
Oh, it's not in the bank. It's in an insurance policy.
Then you should cash in the insurance policy and take that money and go away someplace. You and Mama. You really ought to go someplace, Daddy. I mean, really. Oh, there's my lift.
Ellen, wait a minute.
I don't want to be late.
Ellen?
Bye.
Come in. Steve.
Hi, Dad.
What? School out?
It's 4:30.
Oh, son of a gun. Sit down.
It's a nice office.
Thank you. What's up?
I want to talk to you.
Okay.
I don't want to sneak around, okay?
Okay.
I want to come right out and tell you. That's why I'm here.
I'm listening.
I want to start smoking.
Okay.
Really?
Sure, I'll buy you a ticket in the morning.
Ticket?
To Cincinnati. You can smoke in Grandma's house. Nobody's living there.
I knew it.
Well, of course you knew it. Grandma's in our house. Her new room's almost finished.
I thought you were the one guy I could talk to.
Oh, come on. Steve. You want to smoke?
Yes.
I frankly don't care. But do you mean to tell me that you're going to allow your mother to actually see you smoking a cigarette?
Cigarettes? Are you kidding? They can kill you.
You want to smoke a cigar? Your mother hasn't let me smoke a cigar in 20 years.
Pop, I don't want to smoke a cigar. I want to smoke grass.
Ooh, grass. What grass? Who smokes grass?
Everybody smokes grass.
Green grass?
Pop, what's the matter with
Maybe,
you?
but you can't smoke it.
Pop! I'm talking about marijuana. I want to smoke marijuana.
How old are you?
17.
Oh, yeah, you ought to get out of the house more. You're hanging around the house too much. You should take your sister out. She hardly ever gets to go out, Steve. You could drive the car.
I don't know how to drive.
Oh, heck, I could teach you.
You sold the car.
Right, that's what we'll do. I'll trade you. You can drive the car if you won't smoke this marijuana.
You sold the car to pay for Grandma's bedroom.
Well, I'll tear down Grandma's bedroom. I'll get the car back.
Dad! I've been smoking for a year.
Yeah. Why'd you decide to tell me now?
Because I want to smoke it openly.
In the house?
Yes, in the house.
But, Steve, smoking marijuana is against the law.
Pop.
Do you realize your cousin Rollins a policeman?
Pop, I'm gonna smoke it anyway.
Even if I ask you not to?
I like to smoke it. It makes me feel good.
Steve, I don't want you to smoke it anymore.
Yeah, I know.
Well, why'd you bother to come here and tell me you've been smoking marijuana for a year if you knew what I'd say?
Because you're my father, and I thought you ought to know.
What's the point of my knowing anything about anything if there's nothing I can do about anything?
Is that why you stay in your box so much?
That's none of your business.
Listen, Pop. I think it's great the way you step out of things and get into your own little world and do your own thing.
I don't do my own thing. I don't do anything.
It's a trip for you, and marijuana's the same for me.
What trip? I don't go anywhere. I just go in my box and I sit down.
Listen, Pop. I have got a great idea. Why don't you get me a box? We'll put it right next to yours. I mean, if you really don't want me to smoke in the house, I could smoke out there. What do you say?
Martha?
Ben, where have you been? I got a call today from Mr. Spiegle.
Oh?
He said you weren't at work today.
Well, he's right.
Well, where were you?
In my box.
All day?
All day.
Did you have any lunch?
No.
Well, you certainly didn't have any dinner.
I wasn't hungry.
Ben, you are absolutely crazy. I'm going to call the asylum and have you just taken away.
You're wearing your wig.
What made you notice? I mean, you don't notice anything that goes on around here anymore. You just don't seem to care about anything that goes on around here. You don't care whether we live or die. So why, all of a sudden, do you wonder why I'm wearing my wig?
It's on backwards.
It is not on backwards.
Sure, there's something wrong with it. It's down there around your eyes.
This is the new set by Mr. Tom. Everybody's wearing it. And I do what everybody does. I do not like to stand out. Do you get my meaning, Mr. Lipton? Ben Lipton, I just don't know what to think of you anymore. I mean, you used to be such a nice, normal, sensible man, and now all of a sudden nothing you do makes any sense at all anymore. I mean, who ever heard of a rational, sane man spending all of his time in a box in the backyard? And I'm not alone, you know. I mean, everybody thinks you've lost your mind. What do you think my mother thinks? And the children think? And Mr. Spiegle. Oh, yes, Ben. Do you know what? Mr. Spiegle actually laughed at you on that phone today. I mean, he actually He laughed at you, you and your box. He said, tell Ben to get out of his box and get back to work, and then he laughed. Well, naturally, I tried to make an excuse for you, but what could I say? I told him you were sick, and believe you me, Ben, you are sick, but I didn't tell him how sick. Ben, if you go in that box, don't you come back into the house. Ben Lipton, as far as I'm concerned, you just don't live here anymore.
He's been out there 2 days and nights.
Thank you, Mrs. Bond.
Yes, ma'am.
Ellen, eat your food.
I'm not hungry.
Mrs. Bondage cooked your breakfast and you will eat it. You don't want to hurt Mrs. Bondage's feelings, do you?
The eggs are burned.
They are not burned. They're just a little brown.
Brown eggs are better for you. A little extra cooking takes out all the impurities.
Well, I hate overcooked eggs. She always burns the eggs.
Don't talk back to your mother, Ellen. What's he doing out there?
Well, he's hammering. Can't you hear that? No, Mrs. Bondage. She will eat those eggs. Just leave them right there in front of her, please. Thank you. Your father works very hard to make the money to buy the food to put in your mouth. At least he used to work hard before he lost his mind.
He didn't lose his mind.
Don't talk back to your mother, Ellen.
Well, he didn't. He just couldn't
If your mother
stand...
says your father has lost his mind, he has lost his mind.
Ellen, eat your eggs. Ellen, where are you going?
I'm going to school. Where would I go?
You're losing your control, Martha. Oh, what is he doing?
Here comes Steve.
Well, ask him.
I will. Steve?
Where's Willowville, Ohio?
What, Willowville?
Well, it's near Cincinnati.
Your father was born there. Why?
Nothing.
What do you mean, nothing?
Nothing. Just Dad put an address on his box.
An address?
1314 Martin Lane, Willowville, Ohio.
On his box? Oh, thank you, Mrs. Bondage. Mother, did you hear that? Ben has put an address... Thank you. Has put an address on his box to the house where he was born.
Mrs. Lipton, I would like to talk to you about my quarters.
That house was burned down years ago.
I cannot get a good night's sleep in your husband's study, Mrs. Lipton.
Oh, wow.
Now, either other arrangements are going to have to be made, or I'm afraid that I can't stay.
You're losing control, Martha.
Steve, go talk to your father. Find out what it is he's doing.
He's not talking to me.
Well, I don't blame him with that smell in your room.
Smell?
He's talking to someone, though.
He was talking to himself yesterday. Who's out there now?
Nobody's there.
Well, you said he was talking to somebody.
Yes.
Now, how can he be talking to somebody if nobody's there?
Yes.
He's talking, and then he's listening, but nobody's there.
The telephone is ringing.
Well, Mrs. Lipton?
Oh, what have I ever done to him for him to do this to me?
Martha, I've got to tell you. Now, I've never criticized Ben, never once in all these years.
No.
But even your father...
The
wouldn't have put-
telephone is ringing.
What has anybody ever done to him?
I think it's just possible we've done a lot.
It's Mr. Spiegle.
Oh dear. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, Mr. Spiegle. Oh, I'm fine, thank you, yes. Oh, no, I don't. Well, no, Ben isn't here. No, well, I know he's going to keep 32 men waiting, Mr. Spiegle, but Oh, well, that's awfully nice of you to be calling from your home. Oh, Mr. Spiegle, something terrible is happening to Ben. I'm going to have to call you back.
All right, take it away. Easy now. Slowly. Whoa, hold it, Tony.
Oh, that's all right. Go ahead, I changed my mind. What?
Go ahead, Tony.
Good morning. I've been doing a lot of thinking lately about my future, and I've come to a few decisions. Yes, sir. And one of the first decisions that I've come to is that I have a future. Yep, I'm through with boxes. I'm going to find a place for myself in this world that I want to be in, and I want to tell you straight out that I don't want to be a warehouse manager. And if Mr. Spiegle won't give me my old job back again, well, I'm just going to find myself a new job, one that I want to do, and one that where I can be what I am. And now the next decision that I've come to is about personnel. And by that I mean that I've run down a list of all those that I might consider including in this future of mine, and I am sorry to say, Mrs. Bondage, that you are one of those that I have been forced to rule out. Because you see, Mrs. Bondage, you're a Cadillac accessory, and I'm a Chevrolet person. So thank you, Mrs. Bondage, and goodbye. Now, Ellen, dates or no dates, college or no college, you are a very lovely person. And you're a fine daughter. Sorry I forgot to tell you that. But I won't forget that were you anymore. Steve, I've been thinking a lot lately about this grass, and smoke it or chew it or walk on it, it's just something that you and I are going to have to work out together. Huh? Okay. Now, Mother, you must be very lonely. And I just want you to know that we all love you, and we don't want you to live alone. Now, Martha. Martha, you're going to have to try to start expecting more of me, and I've got to try to be more for you. We've got to try to be more for each other. And Martha.
Yes, Ben.
Would you mind fixing me a little breakfast? I'm awful hungry.
Insight is a production of the Paulist Fathers, a group of Catholic priests who serve their God by serving those outside their church.